Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to just try one more time. Thomas Edison. Good afternoon, Dr. Duell, Dr. Schlanger, Mrs. Lyons, faculty, staff, and my fellow students. As I prepared to go out onto the freezing waters of Little Neck Bay, along with my sailboat, I felt immediately like giving up. I was never interested in sailing. I did a 2-week course in sailing the summer before. This is different. I just moved into a new neighborhood and joined a sailing team where everyone knew each other. And I didn't know anyone. And the kids have been sailing competitively for years. This is not the sailing I thought I signed up for. During the first week of lessons, I thought I was going to die, figuratively due to boredom, or literally due to drowning. When I first started sailing, I was scared to venture even a little into the bay. My arms and legs would not stop shaking. And I was always worried that I'd capsize and embarrass myself in front of my peers. They were all more skilled at the sport and better at sailing than me, and that was ever so obvious. While they were on the other side of the bay in an advanced sailing trip, I was near the shallow end, getting lessons on how to do basic maneuvers. I tried my absolute hardest to avoid going to sailing every day, to the point that I was purposefully finding reasons to be late to class. I hate the fact that I was scared of the water. I wish I'd never been on the team. In the back of my mind, I was always worried about my performance and if I could live up to the expectations of others. The turning point came when I had some sense knocked into me, literally. One time when I was sailing, the boom, the part that holds the sail together, came loose and hit me in the head and knocked me into the water. I was drenched, cold, embarrassed, and injured, but I was not dead. But then, I suddenly realized the difference between me and the other sailors. It wasn't that they knew more or were more experienced, it's that they weren't afraid of capsizing. While I'd been too afraid to do anything I could learn from, they were going out into the water and trying new things, whether they capsized or not. I began to go through the motions and to learn the necessary maneuvers to succeed at the sport. That was the secret to becoming good at sailing, moving forward in spite of fear. Unlike me, they refused to give up even when their boat was half full with water. My experience changed for the better when I started to encourage myself to give it my best efforts. And affirming my belief in my ability to do what I put my mind to, I was able to ultimately face my fears. In retrospect, I realized that many of the lessons that I learned through sailing can apply to many facets of everyday life. Sailing taught me that when you start to tip and think that your boat will fall over, you shouldn't freak out. Instead, you adjust your position. Either sink or swim. Quitting is an option. Like in life, instead of giving up on things that you're for, you need to change your process. Instead of quitting the moment that something seems unbeatable, you need to keep pushing. You change course. Maybe you might learn something new. This lesson doesn't only apply to sailing. Take my experience and use it to motivate yourself in times of self-doubt. Whenever a question seems too difficult or simply impossible, don't quit. Ask a friend for help or go to a teacher after class, whatever it takes to get to the next level of understanding. To this day, I still go out into the water, aware and focused on safety, but now I'm less afraid of failing. Whether or not I win the race, I try my hardest and I don't quit. I've learned to enjoy the process and not let fear hold me back from succeeding. I encourage you to go out on a limb and try something new. If at first you do not succeed, dust yourself off and try again. In life, being persevering is to adapt and realize that when waves of life hit you, which they will, and you do end up capsizing, it's okay. Just bail out the water and keep on sailing. Thank you for your time.